So I have two Zippo lighters. This brass colored one on the left is the standard Zippo lighter. You see it has the wick inside, and it uses the liquid lighter fluid. And I've got this chrome colored one that uses a Thunderbird butane insert. It's a conversion that works very much like the standard Zippo lighter. It's got a valve here, this little thing here. When it comes down, it opens the valve. And it's got a flint just like the regular standard one. Works very much the same. I'm curious how they'll behave when it's very cold out. So here's, at room temperature, here's what these look like. I'm going to pause the video just for a quick second. Alright, there's my butane, and this is my standard lighter fluid. Took 2 clicks. I had the lid open for just a little bit. They start very easily, and they burn about the same flames, very similar. So what I'm going to do is put these outside where it's currently 14 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to let them get cold for about half an hour, and I'm going to see how they behave then. So the number on the bottom, 14.1 degrees Fahrenheit, that's my outdoor temperature probe on my back deck. And I've just now set the lighters out there. You can see that it is currently 7:28 a.m. January 6th. So 14.1 degrees. They're sitting out there chilling as we speak. Here you can see I have the lighters sitting on a frosty picnic table. It's quite a clear, cold morning, and brr, is it cold out here. Anyway, I'm just going to let these sit side by side out here in the cold for, like I say, about half an hour, and then we'll test. Okay, it's been a little over half an hour. These 2 lighters have been sitting out here. I've also got my cup of coffee that I just poured, and an infrared thermometer that I'm going to test here. I'm going to point that at my coffee cup. That shows 129 degrees. It's pretty warm. Click it again, because you sometimes get different readings, especially out in the cold like this. Depends exactly where you're pressing what it comes up with, but if I'm up close, it's about 120, 130 degrees at the edge of the cup. Now if I point at this lighter here, it says 6.6 degrees. Click it again, 8.5, 7.9. So it's cold is the takeaway. Alright, so these things are down to probably between 8 and 10 degrees, something like that. We'll call it about 10 degrees. I'm going to pause the video here just long enough to pop the lid on these things, and we'll see if we can light them. Okay, I don't know if you can see back there, but they were actually frozen to the table. I'm going to start with the standard Zippo lighter, wick lighter, liquid fuel. So I'm having a tough time getting this started. Now I haven't done anything with this since the last time I started it earlier in the video, except that it's been sitting out here where it's been very, very cold. Here's the butane conversion lighter, and it started on the first take. Now it's a fairly weak flame. It is still burning. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is burning. Not super strong, but it did light on the first try. It's a little flickery here. Now I suspect if I hold this in my hand where it warms up a bit, we'll see that flame get more solid and consistent, because the fuel warms up and it behaves a little bit more consistently. It's very, very cold for butane to be. Alright, so that worked. I'm just going to set that down. I'll take this lighter here and hold it in my hand for just a bit. Warm it up a bit. Not quite so cold. There, we almost got something going there. There we go. So that did get started, and I'm noticing that when it does get started, it's actually longer flame, more of a normal flame for the thing. Not perfectly, but it's pretty close. So there you go. After getting super cold for about 40 minutes, the standard Zippo lighter, it took longer to start it, but it looks like it's got a more consistent flame, whereas the butane conversion is a bit jumpy, again, because that fuel, the way that it's behaving when it's so close to freezing, I'm guessing. Not sure what that means, neither here nor there. Usually you have a Zippo lighter in your pocket, so it's not really an issue in either case, but I wanted to test it out. One thing I wanted to note, one additional thing, was that both of these lighters are using pretty much premium fuel. In the standard lighter here, I'm using actual Zippo brand lighter fluid. They claim that it's lower odor and a better quality fuel than the Ronson fuel. I've used both in the lighter, and honestly, I can't tell a great deal of difference. It's at least as good, but it costs more. So that's the Zippo lighter fluid. And then in the conversion, the butane conversion, which looks like this, by the way, it's made by Thunderbird. If you Google Thunderbird, you can find these things. This is a yellow flame insert. They also have torch style inserts. I'm using the Vector premium fuel. It's filtered 14 times. This is worth the extra that it costs compared with other butane options. It really is clean, especially in the torch style lighters. It makes a huge difference. It'll burn cleaner, it doesn't flicker as much, and so forth. So anyway, that's what we've got. And here, now that these lighters have had a chance to warm up inside a little bit, we're going to try lighting them. You see that starts on the first click. Let's see, the butane starts on the third click. But basically, they both start right up. They both do better at room temperature, obviously, more consistent results. And lighters are mostly in your pocket. But I wanted to do the cold weather test because if you carry a lighter or keep it with a camping kit or something like that, it'll make a difference if it gets cold, how they behave. Anyway, there you go.